Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be changing the fluid in the front differential of the big lifted 2000 Ford Excursion you see behind me. Now we did a lot of other, changing the fluid, changing different suspension parts and everything. I just want to do this one too. We're probably going to do the rear differential too later on. But the tools you need for this job, there is one bolt down there that is going to be a hex socket, and it is a 8mm hex. You're gonna need one of these. It's just one of the bolts is that, so you're gonna have to get one of those. For the drain plug, or not the drain plug, the filler plug, you're just going to need a 1/4-inch ratchet. No socket needed for that, and then 14 or probably even a 15 millimeter socket for the other bolts. So I just have these laid out like these just to show it to you guys, but you can just use the same one, same ratchet for all, three things. Other thing, scraper for scraping off the old gasket maker. I do have the gasket that's already made for that. I'll show that in the next video. I might even use that, but I don't know. Everybody else has been using, gasket maker. This is pretty tough. I mean, other people used it. I always, I'm an old school guy. I just use the regular, already made gasket for these things. So, and then the fluid we're going to be using is Mobil 1 synthetic gear lubricant LS, 75 weight, 90. That was recommended, and it will take about 2 quarts. So I went ahead and bought 2 quarts. Other main thing, a drain pan, which is for the old fluid. One more thing I wanted to mention is once we take out the cover, I'm probably going to just definitely clean it up inside and out. Sorry about that. Loud motorcycle going by. The cover for the front differential, I do want to clean it thoroughly and see if I can give it a couple of coats of protective paint. So I might do that too. I'll show that in the video too. But let's go ahead and get underneath this thing and start taking off the cover. And we're back. So first, what I'm going to do is I wanted to take off the hex bolt that's down here. You already have that ready, so, and you are going to have to loosen these things up. Already loosened up most of them, and you can't see it because of this bar over here, but this one is the hex there. Put that on the side. Now we get our 14 mil and we start taking off the other bolts. this one, as I was saying earlier, we're not gonna take off all the way. We'll loosen it about eighth of an inch, or probably a little more. And now, let's see if this thing will come off easy, or do we have to bring a hammer? So probably going to, like I said, it's been a while, seems like it, so I'll get a flathead screwdriver and a hammer and I'll be back. And I'm back. I got my little tiny hammer, so let's see if we can use this to break this seal. Looks like it's pretty hard in there. Some good gasket. See a drop coming out. Let's see. Get this out of the way. That does not look. Oh. Ooh. I know you guys are seeing this, and actually, I'm surprised. The color is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Huh. Just let this thing drain a little bit while I go get some towels. And I'm back. Another thing I forgot to mention, and the stuff that you'll need: some shop towels for anything like this. And again, I gotta say, I'm really surprised. Color-wise, it doesn't look bad, but so now you see why I had this last bolt up here not fully out. I'll let this thing drain. In a second, I'll take that off too. I think that's most of the fluid. So let's get this off. We'll hold it down here. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, before taking any of the bolts off, I went ahead and, using my 1/4 inch ratchet, I had loosened the filler plug already. that thing I forgot to mention. So this was already loosened before I took these bolts off. That will give you some good loosening, I guess, power at the same time while this thing is stationary in place and not moving. Because once you take that off and you try to take this off afterwards, it'll be really hard. So that's why I apologize for not mentioning that earlier. So this bolt's gonna come off, and this thing, I'm holding it with the other hand so it doesn't fall off. And that's the last of it. Let's get this off of here. I'll drop it in the pan, and whoa, there's that gasket that was used. Pretty good job on the gasket, I guess. Now the scraper will also come in handy when we're cleaning this back off. All this old gasket, all of this will have to be scraped off. So we'll scrape that off. That was a good time to check inside. See if you have any wear, any teeth, grinding or anything broken. There's always going to be a little pool down here, so, and all that brown sludge you see down there, that's just all the crud that's been hanging out there. You want to get all of that out. We will go with a towel also and just clean all of that out, and you can probably see the discoloration. It's just a dark color brown. So you see there, that's that, all the bad stuff that's been just sitting there. And we definitely have to clean this up, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. Probably just use some towels, some shop towels, and we'll get started on cleaning this cover. So So I'm really glad that I did this, because I mean, looking at this fluid, it's really bad. I mean, it's like brown, yucky, gross brown. So now I'm gonna start scraping off all this old gasket around there. But what you do want to do is get a plastic bag and kind of cover this area up so none of the little pieces go in there, and that way you can just, once you're done, you can just pull the bag out and everything will fall out and not in the housing. So just do that. Now I'm pretty sure the next person who owns this vehicle after me one day looking at this going, well, at least the guy took care of this thing, right? So we're pretty good. Just gonna keep this thing covered and we'll get started on the cover. Looks much better. Alright, so we got this thing cleaned up on the outside there as much as I could. Somebody had given this a really thick coat of paint, so I'm gonna see if I can just spray on it, scuff it up a little bit and see what happens. Now the weird thing is on the inside is what I noticed is this thing sitting like so, and when you turn it around, the oil that was in there did its job, kept the thing running smooth, but you see up here how it looks eaten away and it looks damaged. What this tells me is I believe this truck sat for a long period of time and the oil just kind of sat there along this line, and this thing didn't see any of this oil and just started, eating away, erosion, I guess. It should be good. It's not damaged or anything. I did get a gasket, old school gasket. It's already made gasket. We're gonna use that and see how that goes. If I see any leakage from that once we put it on, then I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I guess I'll do the whole process again, but I will go ahead and use the other gasket. Now let's give it a coat of paint, a couple of coats, and see how it looks. So last time we left, showed you guys how clean this had gotten, and now this is what I did with it. Gave it a nice paint. I didn't think it was going to be this shiny or glossy, but oh well, it's going to be under the car. A little bit of shine doesn't hurt. Went ahead and painted these two, all the bolts. These will probably scrape off, once I install it. Now again, maybe this gasket, but I also have this other gasket, this one. So that's the part number right there, and it does go for the Dana 50, 60, and 70 front diff gasket. So this will sit just like that, and this thing will go, so this will sit just like that. And we'll try it with this gasket. If it does start to leak or there's some leakage, I'll just take the whole thing back off and use the ultra black gasket maker. So we'll go with this first since I already got it. So alright, in a few minutes we're gonna go and put this thing back on. Alright, and we're on underneath this thing to put the cover back on. We're gonna use the, I guess you can call it the cork gasket. Old school cork gaskets right here. Let's put this on first. Kind of place it the way it goes. And we'll put a couple of the bolts on from the other side. Probably the top one. That'll hold it in place. And I did go ahead and put some Loctite on all the bolts already. So let's see. Go ahead and put this through. Just like that. We'll put one of the bolts through. And then we can adjust as we go. Alright, that's that. Now filling these up, obviously we're going to use that, the Mobil 1 75/90 weight gear oil. Let me just snip away the tops of these and we'll start filling this thing up. Okay. And again, we will see if there's any leaking that's gonna happen. And there you have it. Front differential, Ford Excursion, Ford F-250, F-150, Super Duties, all should be the same. Dana 50, 60, 70. Painted the cover, came a little shinier than I expected, but oh well. Looks nice and new now. Hopefully this cork gasket will do the job and keep the oil in there and no leaking or anything. So we'll drive the thing a little bit and we'll see if there's any leaking or how it runs. Put it in 4x4 and that should do it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and if I did anything wrong, please comment, let me know. I'd love to hear, you know, if I missed anything, if I did something wrong, let me know so I can redo it and correct my mistake. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.